Today I'm going to show you 4 different methods of creating a drum track without having to use a real drummer. So I've got a song here that's made up just of loops, so it's just an example song. It has an introduction, an A section, a B section, C section, and then an outro. I've automated the tempo in the song to increase towards the C section and then decrease for the outro. But that's not important right now. So the first method is step input. So I'm going to add a track, pick a software instrument, just pick an empty channel strip, open the library, and press create. From here, I'm going to select a drum kit. It doesn't matter which one. Obviously each one has different sounds, but I'm going to pick the Bluebird one. And then I'm going to control click or right click over here and create an empty MIDI region. And what I'm going to do is, once I've created this green rectangle, I can double click on it, and then from within that I can zoom in until each note has what instrument is next to it. So C1 is where the kick is always found. So I can now press Command to change the pencil to a pen and draw a 4 to the floor drum beat. So this is the first way. It's step input, and if I play back, you can create drums this way. So that's step input. The second method is by actually playing them in. So for this I don't need the editor. I do need the keyboard though. So Command K brings up the keyboard. And then I'm going to lower the octave, because at the moment this key here plays C2, not C1, and I need the kick. There we go. So to do the second method, which is real-time input, what I'm going to do is put the metronome on so I can hear it. And I've got a count in of 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'll record. And then I'm just going to record a very basic beat. Okay, and right there we can see where my notes are. We can tidy up their timing by selecting the notes, going over to the quantize menu here, selecting which subdivision we want them to snap to, 16th, and then pressing the Q button, and then we'll just tidy up the placements of them so they are perfectly in time. And then if I want to record other hits on top, for example a hi-hat hit, I can just press record again. And there we go. Record straight into that MIDI event, quantize those, there we are. So those are the 2 methods. Step input, recording, real-time input, and then another method, let me just mute that, is by adding a track, but this time instead of picking software instrument, picking a drummer. Within that we can pick genres, so I could go with alternative. It doesn't matter, you can pick whatever you want, press create, and then you can create sections here by either pressing the add button to add a new region or control clicking, right clicking. Now what you want to do is you want to tell the drummer where the sections of the song are and how long they last. Here we go. Now once we've got the sections, we can decide using this grid here what kind of performance direction we want the drummer to have. Do we want them to play soft or loud, simple or complex? And every time you edit these, it will change how the drummer plays. So here's the intro. If I want to make it softer, I can drag this down. Don't need the click track anymore. I can control different presets here. So these are different styles within the alternative genre. So that's Prospect Park, so slightly different sounding. And again, I can bring that down to simple. And I can do that for each one of these sections. And it's the quickest way of getting the drum kit programmed in. Over here you can choose which elements of the drum kit you want to hear. So you've got cymbals, hi-hats, toms, snares and kicks, and then you can add tambourine, shakers and hand claps however much you want. And then my favourite feature here is to click the follow, so the kick and the snare will now follow an instrument that you can choose. So in this scenario here I'll pick my bass, which is found on the second track here. So now it will scan this bass part here, and it will time its kick and snare to coincide with that bass line. So that's the 3 inputs so far: step input, real-time input, and the drummer, which is a smart drummer track. And then finally, the last version is by using loops. And my loops are just indexing, so we'll just take it a moment. But you'll be able to search for what kind of instruments you want, and you'll get a choice of loops that are either made up of audio or MIDI. You can just slide into your project and they'll be tempo matched. Okay, so now I've got my loops. What I can do is I can search for a particular instrument, like kits. I can pick a genre within that. So I could pick jazz. And then all of these loops here, they're blue, so that means they're audio. That will sound too busy for this, but just to show you that it works, you can just drag it, bring it in, slide it in place, and it will match the tempo. Alternatively, it might give you a green file instead of a blue file, and that is MIDI. And then this will sound obviously different, it's on a different drum kit. So there we are. 4 methods of getting drums onto your song without using a real drummer. Step input, real-time input, the drummer track, and using loops and samples.